Politics is something that I do not pay much attention to in the news. I feel that I can use that energy to do more productive things, and especially when the idea that is being discussed is something that I cannot individually change or doesn't directly affect me. Some politics, however, can't be avoided, such as this particular story. I do feel like Kaepernick had a good cause that he was standing behind, and that it did directly affect a lot of people. A case very similar to this was back in the 1968 Olympics when Tommy Smith and John Carlos stood up for Black Power, and it was essentially the same thing. During the Star Spangled Banner, they raised their fist in a way of a silent protest to stand up for Black Power, is what they were calling it. And even individuals from other countries, such as Peter Norman, who stood on the podium with these two, backed them. And at that time, race was a big issue, and I believe that race is still a big issue today. However, I do not necessarily agree with the idea of kneeling during the national anthem. When the two men were raising their fist at the Olympics, it was the entire country that was not behind them and that were against them, calling them derogatory names and such. Whereas I feel like now, yes, race is still a big issue. However, it's not near as bad as what it was back in 1968. A lot of individuals do look down on Kaepernick because of kneeling. However, CBS has a report about a former former Seahawks player and a Green Beret, Nate Boyer, who actually talked to Kaepernick prior to his kneeling and informed him that kneeling was actually a better choice to do because his original plan was just to sit on the bench. And Boyer informed him that, maybe sitting on the bench is not the best way, because when we come up on fallen soldiers in the battlefield, we kneel to respect them. And your stance that you are taking is to respect those who have fallen due to police brutality. So why not kneel for them as we kneel for our fallen soldiers? And when Kaepernick heard Nate Boyer's side, he, thought, well, maybe that is the better idea to do. And so they both came to a mutual agreement in the fact that, kneeling for your fellow African Americans who have died due to police brutality would be a better option than just sitting during the national anthem. I've heard stories about all of the various police brutality incidents that have happened over the nation, but I feel that I am not completely educated enough to make an overall opinion as to how I feel about Kaepernick and the Nike campaign that's going on. How I see it is that Nike's not necessarily, supporting Kaepernick and his overall decision. What they are supporting is the fact that he is standing up for what he believes, even if it does mean losing it all, is the phrase that they have been using. Yes, that kind of goes hand in hand. Overall, I feel that, Kaepernick does deserve his freedom of speech and such, but I also feel that his protest could have been done in a different manner other than kneeling during the national anthem, because he's standing up for police brutality, which that is not every single cop participating in police brutality. That is not the entire country. Kneeling during the national anthem also affects all of the soldiers who are going to war and dying overseas fighting for our freedom. And I do not believe that they deserve to be knelt for. And I get knelt for in a sign of protest. If it was in a way of honoring them, then by all means, yes, do it. But in a sign of protest, I do not believe that that is right. I feel like he could have gone about this in a completely different manner than what he did.